Hey everybody, it is Lissa, founder of Love from Luke, and today's topic is pet loss. I also have a small group on Facebook called, actually it's just Love from Luke group page. It is private, and a lot of the members, including myself, have lost pets over the summer, and I've been personally asked a lot of questions, so I figured the first video, I'm going to try and make weekly videos, would honestly deal with pet loss and what I went through and what I learned from Chimayo. Chimayo passed away exactly 8 weeks ago today. And the number one thing, if you have a sick pet, make every single moment count. Like, don't have any regrets. If there's a bucket list that you want to do with your pet, do it. That is one thing I am so happy I did with Chimayo, is just, he wanted McDonald's. He was 16 years old and he had cancer in his nose. And if he wanted McDonald's, I got a McDonald's. If he wanted to go for, I can't say the word, but it's CAR, we would do that. He did get a lot of different things, and I don't regret any of the additional things I did for him. I'm happy I did that. The other thing is, when it is time for your animal to pass, your pet to pass, you have a special bond. Human and animals have a bond unlike any other. So trust, your pet. And don't ask, trust your gut. Your pet is going to tell you what it needs. And hold on, Luna's crying. Luna needs her boyfriend outside right now, and she's not going to get him. Luna's the German Shepherd. So, yeah, so trust your intuition. It's going to lead you. That is another thing when I look back at the last two losses that I had with Luke. He was a major one, and then with Chimayo, they told me. I asked Chimayo, he was up all night, he didn't feel good, and I took him to the beach one last time. I took him to Burger King, and he didn't want to eat, and we came in, and I said, Chimayo, what do you want? I said, if you want to stay, come get into bed and we're going to take a nap. And if you want to go, lay here on the floor and I'll call the vet. And he stood there, and when I said that, he laid on the floor. So that was when I started to call the vets, and I knew it was time. The other thing about my intuition was, then someone wanted to come over and say goodbye. And when I finally found a vet that would agree to do it during COVID, because a lot of places just wanted me to leave him there, and I couldn't do that at 16. I found a place, and I kept having a person say, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do this? And I hated it, because for a brief moment, I second-guessed myself. But Chimayo, and this is another thing, let your pet die with dignity. That is important to animals, same as, most humans want to pass with dignity. They want to pass with dignity. And I was able to have someone come to my house within another 24 hours, or he could pass away and cross the Rainbow Bridge that day within the hour. And I'm thankful, because then Chimayo went outside. He started to get sick again. And I said, no, we're leaving, and we're leaving right now. I cherished all the time when I was doing the bucket list. I was making the memories. So when the time came, it sucked, but I didn't want him in pain. I loved him way too much to have him suffer. And then, now that he's gone, the next thing, embrace the pain. And there's not a time frame of when the pain's going to go away. Your lifestyle is going to change, even though there's other dogs here. Chimayo was a key factor. Chimayo was with me through so much of my life, through thick and thin, through, dating and breakups, through moves, through major cross-country moves, through, career advancement, moving. The whole reason I bought a house was so Chimayo could have a backyard. Other than that, I would have stayed in my condo if I didn't have Chimayo. That being said, having bought the house did lead to Luke, and then it did lead to Love from Luke. So that was an amazing thing. So those are the first three. I'm reading from a list. So trust your intuition, make the memories, and embrace the pain, and do things that will make you feel better. My friends have been an amazing, amazing support. They sent me cards. They called asking if I needed anything. The first day when Chimayo did pass, I was exhausted because I was up all night with him. But the fact that that was done of what do you need, like where do you want to go? Do you want me to just sit with you? That made a world of difference. Even though I wanted to be alone, the offers just made it so much easier, because I do know if I had a hard time, I had a support group of people. And people who aren't pet people don't get it, but pet people get it. After a little bit, I decided I wanted to sprinkle Chimayo's ashes in various places, and I'm still doing that for him. And he had a lot of favorite places, and one of the favorite places that I wanted to share with other people who owned pets, I had a ceremony, and I about 16 people showed up. More actually were going to show up. So I was really taken back with how many people RSVP'd and planned on coming. But unfortunately, with COVID and all those issues, say hi, Chloe. People had to cancel last minute. People didn't feel good, and it was safer for them to stay at home. But the people who came, they helped me celebrate. We actually, Chimayo and I had a favorite song. It is Florida Georgia Line Cruise with Nelly, because of all the road trips we had gone on and the cross-country moves we had made. So that was our song. We played that song. We threw his ashes into his favorite place. The dogs who attended, one of the dogs wore a blue bandana in Chimayo's memory. So it really was, for myself personally, a good way to heal and a good way to know that I was loved. And we also planted flowers, and I did post on the small group page. The flowers are still there. I planted wildflowers, and that's what I want to do. And I actually took similar flowers to what is in my garden. So, and then I checked about 10 days ago, I went to the spot where the ceremony was, and the flowers are growing, which just makes me happy. The other thing that does for myself personally, and I've realized in working with different animal rescue groups, I have faith and I believe in an afterlife. And I also have rules when it comes to my senior dogs that I don't want them to suffer. And Chimayo was diagnosed at 12, and I was told he would probably have 3 to 4 months to live. I decided not to pursue treatment, because what the treatment would entail was twice a week he would have to go into the vet. He would have to be put to sleep, and they would have to stick tubes up his nose. And then if they wanted to remove the tumor, they would have to remove part of his nose, and he would have a tube to breathe coming out the top of his head, and it would sew up this way. So I didn't want to do that to him. I wanted him to just enjoy himself. And he went to the vet every 6 months, and they said it was a very slow progression. And then finally, I have a good relationship. I do recommend that again, trust your intuition and find a vet that's going to let you trust your intuition and follow your intuition with things. And she just let me do that with him. If I would do research on my own and say, can we try this medicine for him, or can we try this for him? She would say yes at that point. But then she would say, well, if we do this one, he has to go off, this vitamin for 2 weeks. So she knew the interaction. So I had that, which was really good when caring for caring for him. The other thing, my faith has made this a lot easier for me, because I believe in an afterlife. And I believe that the afterlife is way better. Like, I do love my life here, and I'm thankful for, little ones I have. I love my life. But I think the afterlife is even better. And I love Chimayo so much. I didn't want him in pain. I spent the last 4 years making sure he was always comfortable. And when the time came, I wanted him to cross that bridge, and I wanted him to go into heaven, the most beautiful, euphoric place in the world, as fast as possible. So that was when, I was questioned for a moment. Are you sure you want to do this? And I saw him go outside as I called him in, and we went right over to the vet. And when they said, do you want more time with him? I said, no, I want him to cross. Now, some people won't do that. I have seen people have dogs at 16 years old and insist, save the life. And I know the same thing with Luke. When the situation came when Luke got sick, something burst in his stomach, and they put a needle in his stomach, and the needle filled with blood. And the doctor said, do you want to do emergency surgery on him? And I said, no. Some people would do that. And I know my faith is the reason why I can say no, and I can say it's time for him to pass. And when we got to the vet with Chimayo, I sat down on the floor, and he got right in my lap, and he didn't move. And I just talked to him and thanked him and told him how much I loved him. And that was it. And they came in asking if I wanted to look at cremation boxes and things like that, and I said no. He's going to sprinkle his ashes, so I had already decided that. Yeah, this part's hard, and I can't tell you when it's going to be easy, but it's me. I miss him, and there's times when, and I'm thankful that I have these ones who are loving on me. There are times when I get treats, and I bring the treats home for everybody else in the house, and he hasn't grabbed one, so I will look for him to see if he's okay, and then it's like, oh, he's not here. Finally, one night, I went to the Catholic adoration, and if you're not Catholic, they put the Eucharist, that's the bread that they give at communion, and what Catholics believe is that truly is like the body and blood of Christ from the Bible when he does his communion, and it says, this is my body, this is my blood, take this in memory of me. That's, what the Catholic communion and the importance of the communion is. So I was in front of the Eucharist, and I just said, oh, I just miss Chimayo so much. I know he's with you, but I just miss him. And I ended up having just this brief little vision of Chimayo with both ears up, completely healthy, about to walk through the door with Jesus, just so happy, and both of them were so happy. So I'm okay with that. But I look for him. I forget he's gone sometimes. I also, which is going to sound silly, but I have this feels like him. Oh, he wants to see it. This feels like him And some nights if I can't sleep because he was allowed to sleep in my room, I will sleep my head on. I will sleep with this like close to my arm or close to my body. And it was his favorite blanket. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, signs. If you want your pet to leave you signs, they will. I asked Chimayo after he passed away. I was afraid to walk into my bedroom because he liked to sleep on the bed, and I didn't want to see him on the bed. I thought I'd lose it, and I know that happens when people pass. When anyone passes, you think you see them, and you don't. And I actually asked him not to do that. I thought if I saw him, I would lose it. So instead, I asked him, just some other way, but don't let me see you because I don't think I can handle it. And for a solid week, for weeks at a time, I actually, in very, very sunny parts of the day, I would see rainbows. I would see double rainbows. I would see clouds, and it looked like an angel cloud with an angel holding a rainbow. So I knew those were the signs. And then the day of when all my friends gathered together, there was rainbows all the way. It was beautiful weather out, and there were rainbows all the way to the place where we sprinkled his ashes. And I'm just going to put you guys on hold because I just want to show you guys something really cool that one of my friends made me that really did cheer me up. So hold on. Okay, I am back. And my friend personally she made this and mailed. I don't know if you can see. It says in sympathy. And then she went through like the social media pages, and the back of it is her 2 fur babies right here. So it's little, that took a lot of work, and I just thought it was so beautiful, and it cheered me up to know that I had that type of support. So if you're looking to support people, it really is the little things that become big things. Also, it's kind of funny because it totally matches my candle. Let me see if I can do this with holding Chloe in my arms too. Oh, Chloe's gonna move. So, all right, everybody, and thank you for listening. I hope this helped. Ask me questions. I will try and make weekly videos. There's always not enough hours in the day, and you can't buy time. Also, Logan, our Roddy mix, he has to get x-rays done next week. Donations have been, very scarce because of COVID, and it looks like he's going to be needing a leg surgery. So we are on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and Zelle. So if you want to make a donation for his medical, that would be awesome. I will be posting it if you want to join the Love from Luke group page. That is also awesome, and I'll be posting the medical expenses there too, and we'll be doing a crowdfunding, thing. That is Luna crying in the background. So below this video, you'll find all of that, and God bless. Chloe, say goodbye. She's trying. Bye, guys.